Hey guys, it's Craig Severinsen, and we're here for your daily action chat. Today we're going to talk about pricing and what I consider the absolute worst way to set your prices. So, welcome. We do this every morning at 10 a.m. Central, and today I've got some echo going on here. Sorry about that, guys. Okay, so today, we're here for action chat, and we come here together to work on making your business a six-figure business. So make sure you subscribe, make sure that you join us every morning, ask questions, let us know what you're thinking, and we will respond, and you'll be part of the community. So before we really dive into pricing, I want to remind you what business is all based on is what I call the $1 million business success system. And it's just the foundational pieces to making sure that your business runs properly. And if you want to get past just the beginning stages into six figures, even seven figures, you've got to make sure that all of these pieces are in place. So the $1 million business success system looks like this. First, you attract, right? We commonly will call this marketing, but you're attracting basically as many clients as you need and more. Right? At that stage in the game, you just have a lot of attention. People are coming to you. Your marketing is humming, and you just feel like, hey, I have a lot of attention. I've got more leads than I can even handle. The next step is to enroll. That's what we commonly call sales, right? I don't call it sales because there's a lot of negative connotations with that. When you enroll somebody, you're serving them. So it's a very powerful thing to do. So at that stage in the game, you're enrolling as many people as you can handle. You've got a waiting list, your services, you're confident in your ability to get clients. Life is really good. The next step, maintain. This is twofold. One, maintaining your system as it is, that attraction and that enrollment, maintaining the business, but it's also maintaining the systems that make running the business easier, so that you're attracting and you're enrolling and your admin and all that stuff starts to become easier and easier for you to manage, so that you can get to the next step, which is to scale. You take your business to the next level, and the cool thing about that is the process starts all over again. Because once you start charging a new price, once you start offering a new product, it repeats the process of attract, enroll, maintain, scale, attract, enroll, maintain, scale. And the idea is that you do that over and over again until you get however big you want to get, 6 figures, 7 figures, beyond, right? So where does pricing fit into all that? Well, it fits into that enrollment stage, because if your pricing is wrong, or if your pricing doesn't support your business model, or it doesn't, lots of times if we do the math, your pricing actually does not support the lifestyle you want or the type of business you want to build, then the whole thing falls apart. So pricing is very, very important. And there is one way of pricing that I just absolutely hate, and that is hourly rates. I'm sure that you've either done hourly in the past, or you might still be doing hourly. And it's probably the most common way for us to start charging. Most people, when they start business, they start with an hourly rate. And we're talking about service businesses, of course. When you're dealing with products, it's a different pricing structure, because you price the product based on the cost and the time and the profit, right? When we're talking service, it's a little bit more nebulous. And so hourly is kind of the go-to thing. But I hate it. And I hate it because of both my personal experience with it and the experience of my clients with hourly rates. And I just want to talk to you about why. So we're going to get out the trusty whiteboard here. Why hourly sucks so much. Why it's so bad. And this is it, okay? So let's say this is you, right? These are my artist skills, and here's your client, right? You've got a valuable service. They have a need, right? When you do hourly rates, what is it that's going through your client's head? Are they thinking, man, I want value? No, they're thinking about cost. It's all about cost. They want you to spend the least amount of hours to get the need filled as humanly possible. And you, on the other hand, you want to provide great value, which takes more time. So automatically in the hourly rate relationship, you're at odds with your client. Not because you're trying to rip them off, but because you're trying to do a good job. And because you're trying to do a good job, you need to use more hours. But the client is so focused on that hourly rate that they want to keep those hours as low as possible. So immediately in the relationship, from day one, from the first second, from as soon as they hire you, you are conflicting with the needs of your client, and you almost become at odds or enemies because you want different things. That, to me, is the number one reason never to use hourly rates. The second thing about hourly rates is that when you use it, it's always a sticking point. When you charge hourly, it's always a negotiation. People are always looking at that price, and it takes away from the real conversation, which is, are you solving a problem or are you providing value? Third thing is, hourly rates are very hard to use and accurately reflect the value you provide. So I'm going to put a specific example from my own experience. Before I started what I'm doing now, which is helping other entrepreneurs to build their business to 6 figures or 7 figures, I was a public relations professional. And that's why, the name of the company is Brightworks PR and Marketing. Well, we got our start as just a public relations firm. And I used to do media pitching all the time. And what I found was that my hourly rate did not reflect the relationships and the time that I took to build relationships with reporters. So let's put an example. Let's say that I had a relationship with a reporter in a publication where you wanted your story placed. Because I had put in so much time in the past, I could call up or email that reporter and get a story placed fairly quickly. Let's say a half hour, right? Is it fair for me to charge for a half hour's worth of work when it's actually reflective of several years worth of relationship building? The hourly rate just doesn't reflect the value that I was bringing to the table or the amount of work that I had put in beforehand to get into the position that I was in. Another really interesting story that is made up, but it's a good illustration is, and it's common, so you may have heard it before, is the idea of like a copy repairman. An office is, has a copier, it breaks down, they need the copier, they're bleeding money because their business depends on that copy machine. So they call a repairman, he comes in, takes a look at it, he's sizing it up, draws an X on the side of the copy machine, and then hits it. The copy machine roars to life. The copy repairman takes out a sheet, writes a bill, hands it to the boss. It's for $1,000. The boss is like, "What? $1,000? All you did was hit it. I want this bill itemized. What am I paying for here?" So the copy repairman takes the bill back and he writes two things. He writes, hitting the copy machine, $1. Knowing where to hit, $999. Your prices need to reflect the experience and value that you bring, and hourly rates just don't do that for you. That's why it is the absolute worst way for you to do your pricing, right? So, the benefits are just fantastic when you switch away from hourly rates to something more like a project-based rate, right? Not hourly, but by project, or by monthly retainer, which is what I really encourage people to go for, is that monthly retainer. You get better clients because you get clients that are more willing to invest in real growth, real change that you provide. You get to not be pitted against your clients. So you're not at odds. You're both on the same page about this is how much it costs and this is the value that we're providing. And you're not pressured by time. It's not like, oh, I have to get this done within an hour because if they don't want to pay me for another hour and I just got to get it done. No, you're more concerned about providing really great value for your client rather than how much time it takes, right? So that's my suggestion. You can probably tell is that don't do hourly rates, do project-based rates or do the monthly retainer. And the best is to build packages that have a monthly component to it so that you can get really deep value for your clients because you're serving them, you're working with them for a longer period of time. That's what it's all about. So now comes the question everybody wants answered. How much do I charge? I'm sorry to disappoint you, but I'm not going to tell you because I don't know. The truth is I don't know. There's lots of variables you have to consider. You have to consider the value you're providing. You have to consider the cost of the package or program that you're doing. And you've got to consider the competition. How much are other people charging for the service that you're providing? If we sum that all up, price really is dictated by what the market will pay. You can charge $1,000, but if nobody's purchasing it because it's just too much money, then that's not the right price. You know, you could charge $800 while everyone else is charging $200, and as long as people are paying for it, then you're priced correctly. So the best way to figure out your pricing is actually just to set a price and then go test it. Now you have to make sure that you're breaking even. You got to make sure your costs are covered. You got to make sure that you're making a profit, and you got to make sure that you know what your competition's pricing and all that stuff is. But the best way to set your prices is to go and try to sell your product. If people buy it, then you're priced right. If people don't buy it, then you're priced wrong. And you also have to consider, do people buy it immediately? If there's no thinking process, maybe you're priced too low and you should raise your prices. You know, the thing is that I think no one wants to be in a position where they feel like they're being rejected. But the truth is that your pricing should be reflective of attracting the very best clients that bring out the best in you, that you do your best work in. And if you're priced too low, you're going to attract bottom feeders that aren't interested in value, that aren't interested in working with you long term. They're only interested in saving money. And playing the bargain game is a losing game, because no matter how low you set your prices, someone else will just set it lower. So don't waste your time trying to be the bargain brand. You're going to lose money. You're going to lose. The best way to go is to be a premium brand with a premium service that delivers premium results and charges a premium price. And you're not going to get everybody. Not everyone is going to sign up. But because you're charging a good amount, you don't need as many clients. Now let's take the flip side of that. If you're charging a lot of money and nobody is buying, then you're probably priced too high. So you've got to find that happy medium between where people they're self-selecting. They're saying, yes, this is priced higher because I get a higher value, but it's not so high that I can't afford it. That's what you're looking for, and that's how you set prices. So what is the fast-focused, imperfect call to action right now? Go test, go try, set your prices. Take a look at your prices and your packages. Are you still charging hourly? You know, sometimes I would love for you to push back on me on this. If you don't agree with me, leave a comment and tell me why you think hourly works for you. And maybe some industries, you just need that. I would love to hear more about that if that's your case. But I have a feeling that for the majority of the people out there, and for almost every single service-based business, if you're serious about growing your business, if you want to reach 6 figures and beyond, you've got to get away from hourly, because it just doesn't work, especially as a solo practitioner. If you're a solo practitioner and you're still doing hourly, you need to start switching. You need to get away from that. You know, another benefit we didn't talk about is when you move away from hourly and start doing retainer work, you get a more predictable income because you know how much money is coming in. That makes it easier to scale your business. When you know how much money you're going to get, if you know how many clients you're going to get and how many are going to stick around, that makes it easier for you to build your business so that you can actually have the lifestyle that you want. You can actually have money in the bank account. Your business can grow. You can invest in marketing. You can invest in people. You can't do that with hourly because you never know how many hours you're going to get. So that's it for today, guys. We meet here every day, 10 a.m. Central, Monday through Friday. I want you to commit to coming. So please subscribe. Make this a part of your routine. Make this a part of your daily habit. And let's build your six-figure business and beyond. Until next time, go take some fast focus and imperfect action.